Welcome to another jam-packed episode of the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the beautiful and chilly confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Wherever you may be watching or listening, I thank you as always. Like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. You can check the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast not only here on Substack, but you can check the show out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, Trovo, and as well as on Podbean. Happy to be here with you guys on this beautiful October 2nd, 2025. This video essentially is going to be chronologizing the Thursday night football game tonight between the Rams and 49ers, another NFC West game, just like we had last week with the Seahawks and Cardinals. So a lot of information to get into, a lot of jam-packed things to touch on, betting odds, my predictions, who I think is going to be standout players of the game, injuries, bunch of things to touch on and topics to, basically discuss. So before we go any further, definitely want to make sure we give a shout out to several friends of the show. If you guys are familiar with the show, as you already know, StubHub and Viagogo, the number 1 and number 2 leading ticket sellers in the world to live events, shows, and concerts. Currently here on your screen, have a plethora of events currently available right now. MLB playoff tickets are still currently available. College football tickets are still currently available if you're looking for that. Also, too, if you're looking in the UK, for my Viagogo subscribers, you guys will clearly see there's a ton of events going on right now. Definitely a lot of things to keep your fall nice and busy and keep you nice and happy and jam-packed on the weekends whenever you got downtime. So definitely make sure to check out those creative ID links if you're interested in definitely getting out and making something of your weekends. And also, for my avid gamers out there, for my PlayStation gamers, don't forget, if you're watching this video, to check within the description box of this video. There will be a link to PlayStation Direct. If you're looking for access to games, consoles, accessories, whatever you need essentially to immerse your place and enhance your PlayStation experience, I definitely implore you to check it out. Sony PlayStation, more than a game. All right, guys, so getting into this episode, we're going to chronologize the Rams and 49ers. Now, as you know, rivalry game, as I previously stated, NFC West game. This game's got a lot on the line right now. Both teams, ironically, have a 3-1 record. With all the injuries that the 49ers have sustained, they have been able to get to a 3-1 record. The Rams, as we know, have had some tough matchups. Their only loss being to the Philadelphia Eagles on a blocked field goal at the end of the game. So a lot to unpack there, but this game is going to be very, very tightly contested. I do think that what it's going to come down to for the most part is who's going to be able to sustain. Now, for the 49ers, there is a ton of issues to worry about here. Needless to say, the 49ers are going into this game not healthy, for lack of better words. Looking at it tonight, you're looking at a situation where you don't have, Brock Purdy playing for you. Juwan Jennings is not playing. I mean, you have so many injuries. Ricky Parasol is not playing. You have so many injuries to this lineup and to this roster, tonight, where the 49ers, realistically, I don't see any way how they could honestly win this game. I mean, let's be honest, it's a division game. We all know that with division games, anything can happen. Guys could definitely turn out, show up and show out. But when you're missing Brock Purdy, Juwan Jennings, Ricky Parasol, all these guys are going to be out for tonight. It leaves Mac Jones with a very limited plethora of amount of players to play with. He literally also Jordan Watkins, young wide receiver, he's going to be out tonight. So very, very shorthanded on offense if you're the San Francisco 49ers. Getting through this game would just be a blessing without any further injuries. If you're able to win the game, that's great. Now, you will also have McCaffrey out there, so that'll help someone on offense. But the Rams have been very good and very excellent against the run this year, so that's something that they'll definitely be keying in on. So that's definitely something that you have to check out for. Also, too, when you're going into looking at the overall situation for this game, stat-wise, this is a very important game for both teams. If you're looking at the historical aspect, the 49ers in the last 10 matchups are 7-3. Although the last 3 games, the Los Angeles Rams have been victorious against the San Francisco 49ers. Varying degrees, tight victories. Go all the way back to January of 2024. You got a 1-point victory, a 3-point victory, and then a 6-point victory as of late last year in December. So it's going to come down to it being, again, a tight game. These teams know each other. They know exactly what each other is doing. Even with guys being limited, I still expect the 49ers to show up and play. Will they win will be the question. But right now, they are currently on a losing streak going against the Rams. So for my bettors out there, if you guys are interested to know, they are currently on a losing streak going up against the Rams. Looking at the odds for this game. Now, the odds for this game are kind of slick. The odds are -8.5 geared to the Rams' favor. I can definitely understand and see why. Looking at the situation, like I said, with so many players being out for San Francisco, it screams -8.5. I would tell you, honest to God truth, that's a little too rich for my blood, but by all means, don't listen to me. I'm just talking head on YouTube. Make your own decision with that. But -8.5, a little rich for my blood, especially in division games where the past 3 games have been decided by less than 7 points. I think -8.5, even with the injuries that they have on a short week, are a bit much, but we shall see. Going a little bit further, if you're looking at stats against the spread, the 49ers are 2-2 this year against the spread, so as it may. Rams, although are 3-1 against the spread, their only loss being against Philadelphia, where they didn't cover. So shows you right there that betting wise, the odds are looking in the Rams' favor. And obviously, with the injuries that this team has sustained, there's no way in hell that you could possibly think that they're going to be able to battle through all of this by themselves. But a lot will be riding on Mac Jones and how Mac Jones will be able to carry this team. Now, Mac Jones, looking at some of his statistics and how things have played out for him, Mac Jones has actually had a pretty decent, I'll say solid. Let me not jump the gun there and say decent. He's had a very solid campaign. If we're looking at his numbers in totality right here, I'll pull it up for you. He's thrown so far for 281 yards per game. Let's give or take in each of his 2 games. He's thrown for more than 214 yards. So if you're looking at betting odds, that's something to keep an eye on. Jones' average of 281 passing yards per game is 68% above his average prop bet, which is typically about 213.50. So he's having a very good year in Shanahan's offense. It's clearly showing that something's clicking for him. There was a lot of speculation, obviously, years ago that he was going to the 49ers the year they drafted Trey Lance. Obviously, that being a disaster, the 49ers drafting Trey Lance. So Mac Jones is getting a chance, like Sam Darnold, like other guys, to prove that he's a competent quarterback. So we shall see. But he also, just a little tidbit, Jones has thrown one interception. He's thrown an interception in one of 2 games this year, but not more than 1. So that's something to keep an eye on too. He's not forcing the football. As long as he's not doing that, I think the 49ers definitely have a shot. It's going to be hard though because that Rams defense is fucking tenacious. Looking at Matt Stafford against the 49ers. Now this historically is kind of hilarious. Historically, he's 3-8 against the 49ers. Although again, I will reiterate, if we look at the last 2 times that Matt Stafford has played, or last 3 times essentially, I don't want to, we count 2023, but the last 3 times that Matt Stafford has played the 49ers, he has put up some very good numbers. Won 2 of those matchups, lost 1. So I definitely expect Matt Stafford to have a good game. I don't see any reason why unless his back flares up, which is definitely something to keep an eye on. It did flare up in the Philadelphia game. Not as much in the Indianapolis game, but he definitely did take some shots. So that's something to definitely keep an eye on as well. Going a bit further, this game I truly believe is going to come down to the Rams executing their game plan. I mean, when you have Puka Nacua, when you have Devontae Adams, it's one of those situations where I don't see how in the hell you could necessarily fail. I mean, again, division games are tricky. It's not like, it's a short thing that the Rams are just guaranteed to win. That's why you got to play the game. They're not, it's not dictated on paper. However, a lot for the 49ers to overcome. Going into a little bit further, Puka Nacua, you go into his stats. He's been at monster numbers against the San Francisco 49ers. Actually, in his last game, he had about 97 yards receiving. He's only had 1 game under 50 yards receiving against the 49ers, which is startling in his career. He's played against them 3 times so far. Obviously, better with injuries, would have played against them a little bit more. But I expect him to have a breakout game. I would definitely look for him to have over 80 yards tonight. So something to keep an eye on there. Also, Devontae Adams. Now, he's another one who I think has benefited greatly from having, let's say for lack of better words, Puka Nacua out there, because Puka takes so much coverage and causes so much difficulty for you to have to pay attention to where he's at. If you're not paying attention, he really will blow past you and just smoke your head. So looking at it, historically, Devontae Adams has had great numbers against the 49ers. But looking at his last 2 games, like I said, very good numbers. Last game, we'll go to his Raiders numbers, just to give you a little bit more accurate context. He had 11 targets, 7 catches, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. So definitely a guy that I could definitely see over 60, 70 yards receiving in this game. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. My final prediction, though, I got the Rams winning 28-13. I just think it's going to be very hard for the 49ers to produce a lot of points, especially with the way this Rams defense is playing, especially with the way that, they're limited with, injuries right now. The 49ers have been fucking cursed with the injury bug. Not sure exactly what's going on. Definitely think the strength and conditioning program needs to be changed, but we shall see. That's going to do it for this episode, for this Thursday Night Football preview, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this information, and definitely don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Take care, and enjoy the game.